Hi, I am Dr. Demchenko, and today we will talk about stretching the right muscles for the health of the knee joint. So, what muscles are important for the knee to feel good? Of course, all muscles are important, but the quadriceps has the greatest influence. This is the rectus femoris, calf muscle, and flounder muscle. Everyone usually knows about the calf and rectus femoris muscle, but not very much about the flounder. The fact is that under the calf muscle there is another very important muscle, practically the triceps of the lower leg. Such a flat one, called the flounder muscle, will also greatly affect both the ankle joint and the knee joint. Today we will talk about how to stretch them correctly and why to stretch them. As you may know, in order for the joints to function well, the muscles that serve them must be well stretched, and their movements must be strong. Since you have a lot of load on the muscles during special loading, that is, when you do sports, in principle, it is not necessary to pump the muscles separately, but it is very important to stretch them correctly. How it should be done, I repeat once again that it should be done for 3 weeks every day, because the muscle should grow a little in length. In order for it to grow in length, you have to stretch it every day and tell our receptors that we need a longer muscle. If you do these 2 or 3 times a week, unfortunately, the muscles will grow very slowly in length. Accordingly, for 3 weeks every day for 40 seconds we will pull the muscles in order for them to lengthen. Then we will need to pull twice a week just so that it does not shorten. Accordingly, let's start with the quadriceps. Usually everyone pulls the quadriceps in this way. They take the ankle and pull the leg back. This is the most common mistake, so to speak, when stretching the quadriceps, because just in this position the quadriceps practically does not stretch. The first point is very important, that the leg does not go sideways, because as soon as it goes sideways, the quadriceps tension drops. That is, the leg should be flat and the quadriceps should go straight back. The second moment you can see the stretching of the quadriceps in this way, when they pull just bending the knee. The fact is that when we just bend the knee, practically we pull only the lateral heads of the quadriceps, which go to the right and left. Since the quadriceps is from the word quadro, that is, 4, it has 4 practically separate muscles. 2 lateral muscles that do not reach the end. They are small and they stretch. Of course, it is also useful for the knee, but the most useful for the knee is stretching the straight head. That is, the one that is attached to the pelvis and tibia, a long, long head. It just determines how much the patella, the kneecap, is pressed against the femur and causes wear of the knee joint. In order to avoid these problems, you need to stretch this long muscle very well. To do this, when we captured the leg, it is not enough just to bend the knee. It is very important to take the hip back until the moment when you begin to feel tension in this place. Not here, but here. If you feel tension here, then this is a more correct position and you are stretching the right portion of the muscle. If you have a little lack of coordination of movement in order to do it on one leg, you can strengthen the stretching and make it easier with the help of a support. You can put your knee on some kind of support, preferably more or less soft. If you put your knee on the support, it will be easier for you to go forward and strengthen the stretching of the front head of the quadriceps in this way. If there is no convenient support, then this can be done on the floor. It is also necessary to put something soft under the knee and make such a lunge. In this position, you will stretch the quadriceps very well. Accordingly, stretching requires a delay of 36 to 40 seconds. If you do not want to measure time, you can count it to yourself or focus on sensations. But what is the right feeling? You have reached a good stretch and hold. At a certain point in time you will feel that the feeling of tension disappears. That is, the muscles seem to have let go. She went into relaxation. This is a very correct feeling to which it is actually necessary to stretch it. As soon as this feeling has gone, you can switch to stretching another muscle. And let's continue about the calf muscle and the flounder muscle. What is their main difference? The fact is that the calf muscle is attached behind the knee joint. That is, above the knee joint on the femur. And in fact it is thrown over 2 joints, through the knee joint. and through the ankle joint, and is attached to the heel bone. The flounder muscle is located under the calf and it is attached below the knee joint. Here, and also throws over the ankle joint. Both of these muscles are involved in the movement of the ankle joint. That is, they raise and lower us smoothly. Since the calf muscle passes through two joints, through the knee joint and through the ankle joint, it will affect both the movement in the ankle joint and the movement in the knee. Accordingly, the flounder muscle is attached below the knee joint and will affect
only the ankle joint.
Due to the fact that they are attached in different places, there is a slight nuance in their stretching. The fact is that usually everyone pulls only the calf muscle. In order to stretch the calf muscle, such a technique is usually used. A sock is placed on a curb or on a wall, and the body is tried to move forward. Due to this, the calf muscle is stretched. Please note that the knee is in the straightened version. Another option is to rest against the wall, stretch the back leg, the knee is straight again, and try to bend down. This also stretches the calf muscle very well. But since the calf muscle is more powerful and larger than the flounder, it is higher, it stretches first, and no matter how much we pull the calf muscle, the muscle under it, which is flounder, will stretch very badly. Very often people come to me with pain in the area around the knee joint, with pain in the calf muscle. They say we stretch the calf muscle very well, but we still have pain there, because people do not stretch the flounder muscle. To stretch the flounder, it is required to bend the knee joint. So for this we use a small step or curb. It is required to bend the knee. Put the foot on the edge of the step and lower the heel down with the knee bent. You will feel that your tension will not be as usual when stretching the calf muscle, but below, and about here, it will be a characteristic stretch for the flounder muscle. This is such a stretch. It is very important to stretch them separately because if you stretch them together, the calf and flounder muscles practically do not stretch. This advice is very useful for everyone who rides the subway. The fact is that in the subway you can stretch both the calf and the flounder muscle very well almost without looking up from the trip. Imagine that these are the steps of an escalator. If you are on an escalator, you can put one foot on a step higher and give a little pressure on the heel. In this way you can stretch the flounder muscle. If you need to stretch the calf muscle, then you can lower the straight leg from the step down, holding on, and you will have a very good calf muscle and the back of the thigh. Thus, on the escalator, it is possible to stretch both flounder and calf very well in one escalator. Why pull a flounder if it does not involve the movement of the knee joints? The fact is that she is very actively involved in the movement of the ankle, and the ankle is directly connected to the knee joint. The fact is that if you cannot bend the ankle joint well, and this happens when the flounder muscle is overstressed most often, then you will have to get the amplitude with your knee, and the knee begins to overload very much. Therefore, in order for your knee to feel good, you need to pull both the calf and the flounder muscle and the quadriceps. This will relieve the knee joint very well and reduce your injuries. Do sports joyfully, without injury, and do more prevention. It will help to save your knees. If you liked it, like the video and it gives you the opportunity to make more interesting videos for you. Come in, tell your friends, bye to everyone.